What? Okay, well, that was really weird. For some reason, it took two tries to go live, but screw that. We are now officially, we are live on the things. And so I now get to, well, how? There. Share, copy, toss it, places. We're live with Christmas beers. Okay. Yup. And there. Done. Bunch of this and that kind of stuff. That'll be good. All right. So it is 8. But we can start straight in if everyone's feeling good, feeling relaxed, and all set with some sort of beers. I am Ross. Joining me is my co-host Ian and our special guest Kier. We've got hopefully another special guest on the way, but there's 3 for now, 4 in the future for our very special Christmassy style episode. And just for the purposes of Christmas, we are attempting to drink Nova Scotia Dry. Because at each brewery, I have found a lot of them do the specialties for certain holidays, but you can't always get them because you can't. I mean, you used to be able to drive around the province, but now gas is too expensive. So you got to go to your local LC, and they have, I got to say it, the same ones they had last year. I was a little disappointed, but I don't know. I can't tell the NSLC what to do, what to carry. I did look up. I've been keeping an eye on the Atlantic Canada beer blog to see who's putting out new stuff, and even that they're not putting out new beers, or they are putting out new beers, but they're not putting out Christmassy beers. They're saying things like, "Oh, here's this one. They've got a new one. Schoolhouse has got a new one to their IPA family. They've got a black IPA this week," and I'm like, "Okay, that sounds great." And Tanner's got a Hopfenweiss, which is a German wheat beer, and it said, "This is just before the holidays." I said, yeah, but it's not a holiday beer, is it? So where's our cool thematic fun stuff? And I feel it might just be a little less fun this year. But
did we do it? What did we do in last Christmassy? Their offerings. Did we do the same things? I don't think we did.
We did.
I know we did one of them that is the same. But
the milk and cookies, and the naughty or nice, and Propeller had a chocolate orange.
Oh gosh, yes.
Those are the ones that we did last year. 2 years ago, I'll scroll back. 2 years ago, we had the all lit up, and that was the only one. Oh no! And then we did the holiday cheer, the Tannenbaum, and the Odin's Winter Ale. So, we couldn't find things. There was no pine tree. There was no pine tree beer. What are you going to do?
The never-to-be-forgotten Tannenbaum. That was just manna from heaven, wasn't it? That was quite something.
Speaking of not having...
What did a milk and cookies beer taste like?
I remember it being kind of disappointing, mostly because... Have you ever had one of those cookies that it tastes like the cheapest brand, where it almost tastes like sawdust? It just tastes wrong, like someone has made cookies wrong. It tasted like off-brand terrible chocolate chip cookies, and I thought,
I can't see that.
Of all the flavors of cookies you could have gone with,
but it was still beer, so there was a plus to it.
So I was curious because I think I saw the milk and cookies. Brett and the milk and cookies is still in the LC. With the percentages of these ones, we decided not to have 4 beers tonight. But speaking of the beers not being in the LCs, let's just review. We have Ian and I have 3 beers that we suggested and recommended, and try as we might, we let Kier know about them. And Kier, how'd you do?
Didn't go well. When you left him on the porch, and I was like, all right, well, that they'll be there waiting for me. And then there was also this windstorm that was happening, and whether either it was the wind that took them or some like passerby,
I mean, can
they
a beer
weren't
on your
there when I
front
got
stoop? I don't know.
Oh well. So I bought 3 different beers that I somewhat kind of resemble Christmas, but
I'm so
we'll see how it
curious
goes.
now. Oh, okay. So our Christmas beers that we've
So
got.
mine.
We've got the Garrison. The Garrison's all lit up, which yes, we did have before. We've got the Old Biddy's Naughty or Nice, which is out again, despite the fact that Old Biddy's is no longer Old Biddy's. Old Biddy's is now Great Roads Brewery.
Great Roads, yeah, Great Roads.
Great Roads, something like that.
Yes.
But we also have new this year is the Propeller Nanaimo, which is an imperial dessert stout. It's not specifically Christmas directly, but a dessert imperial stout is definitely super holiday-ish. So I'm curious what Kier's found.
I picked up Big Spruce Brewing's Tim's IPA because it has a tree on the front.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So I figured Christmas tree, and I picked up a couple Garrisons because you guys have a couple Garrisons, right?
Yeah, one at least. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fun.
you got the Hoppy Boy IPA. It's green, like a Christmas
Green.
color. Yeah,
Ah.
and also Garrison's Nut Brown because nuts are a part of Christmas. So that's how well I do with finding Christmas related beers.
Do you know what's interesting? I
What?
have loved
Very good.
Garrison's Nut Brown for years. We have never reviewed it on the show because every time we go to do like a brown ale, it's not in the LCs. It's so sporadically there. Hopefully, it's back as a staple now. So they are in the cupboard. They're waiting to go, but we just haven't had another brown ale night. So yours will be the first review on our show of the Garrison Nut Brown.
I don't
Can't
need that kind of pressure.
I mean, I'd like to think that we have absolutely no pressure whatsoever on this show. We're usually just whatever.
Should I was a bit loud there. Should Ananda join us eventually? Does he have said beers, or did they blow away from him too?
That is a question that we'll be able to ask him when and if he arrives. He didn't mention that anything was missing because I also left them on his doorstep in a windstorm. But I tried to trap them amongst some other things. He had some flower pots, so I kind of tucked it in. Kier has fewer flower pots on his front step. Not, I'm not saying anything there, but there was little for me to.
Things are growing there.
This
Wouldn't call
fern
it a
will
garden.
protect it. These dandelions will withstand the storm. I felt like it was going to be heavy enough to do just fine. However, first one, and here's the part that scares me. Oh, here is not the part that scares me. My wife is joining. Oh, speaking of, do we not have an extra special guest at Casa del Ian that Rebecca was going to come join us as well?
Look, she's around.
Okay, so she's somewhere there.
Andy.
I think she's
looking
waiting for the sound of the beer can opening before she makes an
Really, we crack
appearance.
one open
It's
yet?
like
Yeah.
red, the opposite of red rag to a bull.
Ha.
Oh, here she is. Ah,
But
no,
the scary thing is the percentages, because the least high alcohol percentage, ergo the first one we're trying, is 7.0.
that's the
Ian, mine-
missing one.
Ian bought me this coat and
Mine-
wanted me to wear it for Christmas stuff. And I couldn't wear it, it's a long story. Brady wants to know why I'm dressed up. And I said, because Ian bought me a coat and I didn't want to just wear a stupid t-shirt with this nice coat that Ian got me. So I put on my shirt that was sitting upstairs, and now I look just extra. It's a bit extra Don Cherry.
Meanwhile, I got my.
Can I
You know?
can I ask you a question, Ross?
No.
Can you see her?
Yes.
Oh, good.
She's in frame. Do you need a chair? Are you coming to sit? Or are you gonna?
No, staying.
Okay.
I'm just coming for sips, but nothing is happening.
We're not even sipping yet. We're still describing things. The weakest alcohol percentage, 7.0%, is the Garrison all lit up festive strong ale. It's got snowflakes. It says festive, so you know it's festive. It says Garrison in the largest letters around. Ingredients gets exciting because it starts with the usual water, barley malt, hops, sugar. I think we make that joke every year. Raisins, spices, and laurel leaves. I know
Laurel.
what a laurel leaf is because of a laurel wreath. Wasn't that Roman? Like the famous picture of Julius Caesar with the leaves on his funny little hat crown thing? A laurel wreath, as it were.
Mm.
Kier,
She's
you're up
straight
with
in
your
there.
ancient Roman knowledge, right? He'll confirm.
What are you doing first, Kier, as a teaming up
Christmas tree
against
one.
lit up?
I'm doing the
Ah,
Christmas
right,
tree one,
okay.
the
Are you going?
IPA.
Are you going weakest to strongest too, or are you just basically just winging it?
I'm just winging it. I'm a agent of chaos.
That's why you're here.
This we know.
There
This we
is a
know.
description on the side of the Garrison, all lit up. It says, "Naughty and spiced, this winter brew will keep you warm and dreamy even when it's cold outside, baby." So that describes nothing of a flavor, and the only thing I'm really getting that might give a hint as to flavor is raisins and spices. So it's gonna be a spicy raisin beer. I don't know.
Well, smells like beer.
Does. Oh no! I got a little sip of, or a little sniff of a sweetened kind of raisiny smell. It was there.
We're
Can't
going to
tell why
pour
they-
this one.
I can see why they call this Big Spruce. It does have kind of a nice piney taste to it.
Ooh.
Well, that's the
Reminds me of
brewery, though.
that.
You can't make them all sprucey.
What was it called?
Called the Tannenbaum.
Did you guys drink all that whole Tannenbaum beer? Did you finish the whole thing?
We did. It was extraordinary.
Yeah.
We had to because it was just crazy. I remember Brittany coming down. It was her face because we all three of us had decided this was the loopiest beer
Everybody else.
that we'd ever. And I mean, it did. Kier, it's a shame if you never got to try it. It did what it said on the
So
tin.
bad.
It said this is going to taste like a pine tree, and it was so like the smell of it was like you just squeezed it under the rim of your toilet. It smelt so pine fresh, and then it didn't taste dissimilar either when we drank it. To be honest, it was really unusual. We'll say that about it. And we haven't seen it since. That was 2 years ago, and clearly they haven't brought it back because it's not been in the NSLCs for sure. Unless
So
you got
did
it from the itself, Ross.
Did you like it?
No, I hated it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we got it at the NSLC because the only ones that I got when I was down in Liverpool many years ago were they had an English ale, and I always pick up some of the dark cream ale because I like that one. The head on this went away. This felt like I was pouring a can of Coke. There is a little bit of fizz, but there is no foam on it whatsoever.
That's okay.
Oh, John's in the chat, and I wonder if John ever tried it. He reminds us of Turlet Pine Ale. Did you? Apparently he tried it. That's craziness. I thought we were the only. Oh no, if it was in the LCs, that does make sense.
Yeah.
It's a lovely color. It's a lovely color.
Yeah, you got a delightful head
Your
on
head-
yours. I got nothing, but it smells
No.
like a mince pie.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
good to
like
me.
a sweetened, like a butter tart kind of thing. It was the Tannenbaum from Hell Bay there, John. Oh, but it was the Turlet Pine Ale. They should have just called it that. But Kier's also picked correctly because we like that. That's one of our favorite IPAs actually at the LC that we've tried over the years.
The Tim's IPA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had it. I've had it a few
Like a
times.
bar.
It's not- yeah.
I've not got any spices. I'm not getting any smell of any spices for some reason.
No.
Um.
Well, you've got COVID, so
Oh, in the
what do you know?
can I am. In the can I am.
Oh,
Can I am. Sam, I
such
am.
a sweetened. This is like a
Quite
fruitcake.
strong.
It smells like a fruitcake. I'm digging this.
It
Oh.
does in the can, but not in the glass.
Very fruity.
Okay, I'm looking forward to trying it.
All
Should we
set?
try it?
All right.
Sure.
How much of a 7.0 can we get into us at any given point? Ready, 2, 3, cheers.
Pause.
Ooh, it tastes like candy. Tastes like barley sugar
Yeah,
candy.
Yep.
it's like a candy cane.
Like those toy
I-
candies, you know, Ganong toy candies when they're in the little shape of the chicken and
The Robinson
like
candies.
a New Brunswick. It's a
But-
yeah.
You
Do
said
they do
barley
the chicken
candy, and I
bones?
immediately got that.
No. Yeah, toy candy. Yeah, but it kind of looks like that too. It has barley sugar color too.
Well, it's quite clear.
Tastes like toy candy. to me.
There's my face. You
Yeah,
can-
it's very thin looking. And our pesky foam is
Disappeared
dissipated.
too.
Oh, it went away
Ooh.
quick.
This is so dangerous for your eye.
Yeah, she's right. The lid came off of my the
But there's
pewter
still the-
lid came off, and now it's just some medieval torture device that you can stick in
Well-
your eye when it.
Would the lids have stuck in your eye as well?
No, it wouldn't have, mate, because then I'd have been smacking my
Yeah,
face with
it'll
the.
hit your ear.
Yeah, it would. But this has got eye damage written all over it, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. So that's why we're drinking this one first.
Very sugary.
Very
Me, I can
sweet.
taste that demerara.
Yeah.
Yeah, demerara sugar for sure.
Which eye would you like to lose? Your left or your right?
I'd like to keep them both.
Oh, keep them both.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you said you've had the Tim's IPA before, Kier. We're now talking about 6 beers accidentally. I think we've just entered challenge mode.
You did actually suggest that we should do the other one as well. The the other one that was available down there. Was it Milk and Cookies still available?
It was.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe next week.
That was a milk stout. Or was that a chocolate stout?
It
What
was a
is it,
chocolate
a
stout.
cookie
We were
stout?
just discussing it actually. It wasn't as good as it sounded
Yeah.
to us.
I
To
remember
us.
No.
We were a little bit disappointed with it. It wasn't as sweet as we hoped it would be. Not as chocolatey and delicious as it sounded.
Mhm,
But hey,
mhm.
whatever.
You never know.
Now you never know.
You never know.
How's yours, dear? IPA
Good.
territory.
It's a good tasting IPA. Like I said, has somewhat kind of a piney taste to it, but I mean,
Hmm.
and it's got a good aftertaste. Like it kind of sticks around in your mouth for a little bit.
Yeah.
This sticks, I find, but it's the candy flavor that sticks as well. But
Yeah.
Okay, guess what the aftertaste that's rolling around in my mouth feels like right now? I feel like I have just had a spoonful of Buckley's mixture.
Oh,
Oh, that's
interesting.
interesting.
That's what's
Hmm.
I'm not. Is that a good thing?
well, it's a unique thing. Was it sort of
I
like a
like that,
sweetened eucalyptus kind of flavor? So is eucalyptus a spice? Do people garnish their meals with a bit of eucalyptus? I don't think so.
I'm guessing that the reason why Kears sticks around a little bit is because it comes from a tree.
Yeah.
Sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. That's good.
'Cause
No, is that a bit of a dad joke?
Oh.
No. So,
that stick
hey,
and
listen.
tree?
I prepared several Christmas-related trivia questions for you, gentlemen, this evening. Since following on from that
All right.
weirdness we had on our Let's Try and Drink 100 Shots evening, when I was asking trivia questions when none of us could really see straight. But
Yeah, I don't
anyway,
quite
but
even remember you asking trivia questions at that point.
I don't either.
Spelling bee.
That was a
I
night.
don't remember.
You were
So-
John's comparing Buckley's to tasting like nuclear pine sap, and in a weird way, you could almost refer to this as nuclear pine sap as well. It's
Mm.
I don't.
It doesn't taste like 7%.
No,
does
it tastes very thin.
Yeah.
It tastes like that. To me, it's like a Ricola. Like I get the cough syrup.
Ricola,
and
yeah.
stuff, but it's
It's
that.
very cough syrup
Purple.
oriented, but I don't think I could have a second.
Mm-mm.
And I'm
It's-
trying to figure out if it's because it's sweet or if it's because it feels heavy and strong to me. There's some sort of feeling that I'm getting that inside, maybe it's that it's a winter warmer of a beer, and the percentage is going to get you because you're like, guess what? You are now hot from the inside out because this is a 7.0.
I've got a feeling my hat ain't gonna last long.
Well,
The fire.
you're sitting right by
Or
the fire.
That's right. Crackling away in the background. What did my true love give to me on the 9th day of Christmas?
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, you're not allowed to say.
Why?
Wait, are these dad jokes or trivia questions?
No. These are trivia questions.
Oh, okay.
I'm only going to ask.
I was
half a
waiting
dozen.
for a punchline.
Yeah, I thought you promised dad jokes. We're in trivia? Christmas trivia?
No. That was only a reference to the sticks earlier on.
Believe I know the answer.
Okay.
Kier,
I know, too.
you want to wager a guess?
No, I don't know the song as well. I know the song, but it's like I didn't memorize all 12 things.
Anything.
Once it gets up there towards weird stuff, beyond sort of 7 or 8, everyone knows 5 gold rings.
Well,
all
it's
that bit,
true.
Yeah.
But we
difficult.
wrote a Christmas pantomime one year, and the plot of it was Sherlock Holmes, but his nemesis Moriarty was stealing the things from the 12 Days of Christmas. So we had to write it into the show, and ever since then I've remembered most of them. So I'm pretty sure 9 is Piper's Piping. That's not it?
Here? You don't know. No. What do you think it is, Rebecca?
Ladies dancing.
Ladies dancing.
It was Ladies Dancing.
Uh,
So I mean, it's a bit vague, doesn't it? Once you get up there, it's
11 pipers piping.
oh, is it Lords of Leaping is 12? Is it?
Lords Leaping is
12
12.
lords of-
9
Drummers
Ladies Dancing?
Drumming.
I don't know.
Yeah. 8
Eight maids of milk.
8 maids of milk, 7 swans
Swans
swimming. 6
Six.
milkies. Oh, well, have we done them? Maids of milking.
wait, I
No.
have a question.
Geese laying. Geese
Yeah.
laying. Geese laying. Yeah.
I have a question about that song.
You have a
I
what
have
with
a
that song?
A question.
Oh.
About it. The lyric is on the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 ladies dancing. Like, did they go out and get 9 dancers and just bring them to the house one Christmas morning?
Against them, well, they kidnapped them. And all the others, too.
It's
They were so inappropriate back in the day.
There are a number
They're not allowed
of
to do
theories
that.
on the origin of the song, and I think it had something that might have been dolls or small figures or something like that. But that many human bodies by the end of the song, with the pipers piping, the ladies dancing, the lords a leaping, and the maids a milking. There was a lot of people in the room at the time. If they were all
It'd be
full size.
complete chaos.
Yeah.
all birds.
And the birds
Well,
just flying around like a Christmas shit show.
It was-
There are two things.
there is a famous song. You could probably Google it afterwards. I think I played you it maybe a year or so ago.
The
It's
12
by.
days of...
Have you ever heard of Ross? You've heard of Father Ted, haven't you?
Yes.
I hear you too. Right, you know
Yeah.
Father Jack, the drunken fellow that said drink, ash, crack. That guy.
Yeah.
He used to be quite a famous singer in Ireland back in the 70s and 80s. Something I forget his name, something Kelly, whatever his name is, Frank Kelly. And he did a song called "The 12 Days of Christmas," and it's basically just, it's just the way like you said there, the craziness of the birds crapping all over the flower, and the ladies are going crazy, and there's milk everywhere. And so give that a listen when you have a moment. It's pretty,
Well,
it's pretty good fun.
Well, the
Stop.
one
He's Irish, yeah.
the one that most of us
Bringing
grew
me
up
up.
with would be the quintessential the Bob and Doug McKenzie one, I think. The
Yeah.
Canadian
Yeah.
12
I showed
days.
You did.
Guy. And
Yeah.
then in turn, I showed Ian the
Yeah.
Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Yeah, I heard that one now.
Yeah, that's the Canadian answer to anything. Oh, there's a version of 12 days. We're like, no. Here's the you need to watch this one. What was the 5? Two turtlenecks, 3 French toasts, and it was 3 French toasts, 2 turtlenecks, and a beer in a tree.
And a beer.
And a beer. And a beer. Yeah, I've heard it.
5.
This is getting
Can't
better.
remember. Oh, it's getting worse for me.
Oh, is it getting
Yeah,
worse?
yeah.
I'm actually
Getting
starting
worse.
to enjoy
It's
it.
Staying about the same, but I think I've decided that I'm not gonna like it. I even looked up one. I have had this before. Ian has not had this before because apparently I drank this near a Christmas episode that you weren't around. So I only have what I scored it then, and I apparently scored it an 8.5. And it's not going to be much higher or lower than that. I think it's kind of an average. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not saying this is the best drink you've ever had. It's just it's Christmas Eve.
8.5 though. That's a really solid score, Ross. That's.
Well,
I mean,
it
that's
tastes
8.5 is
fine.
people-
I personally couldn't drink a lot of it because there's that. There's something going on. The sweetened,
Yeah.
cloying. It's medicinal flavor
Yeah.
that I'm not really digging.
Oh,
It's like a candy medicine cough drop.
it's quite
Yeah.
candy-ish. Yeah.
Cough drop.
Yeah. But
Every
they did
now and then
promise
I get
that.
a smell off something, and I will say to someone, "Oh, 5 golden toques." John's got it. John's got the Bob and Doug McKenzie lyrics over there. 5 golden toques, 4
I don't
collie
think I would like
dogs.
this drink.
Collie dogs.
Well, like a
Collie
collie.
dogs? Right.
I could be wrong.
Crazy.
Maybe I'm just making that up. What were you saying, Kier?
Canadians.
I can't even remember all the ones for the Bob and Doug McKenzie ones, but I think I remember a beer in a tree, and I remember when they were in the song leading up to it, they were like discussing it, like, oh, what comes after Christmas? And they're like, oh, Wrestling Day. I mean, Boxing Day or something like. I thought it was funny. But I was saying before, like, I don't think I'd overly like the drink you guys are drinking because by the sounds of it, it'd be quite sweet.
You would probably hate this. This might not be quite up your strata. It's pretending to be more malt forward than hop flavored, but even then it's like one of those weird dessert drinks. It's trying to be a thematically Christmassy thing, but I think it's almost gone a little too far. John knows the 4. It's 4 pounds of back bacon.
Right. I don't mind this actually. This beer. It's grown on me.
Okay.
Grown on me. It is actually warming me up, and I don't think it's because of the hat. I seriously think it is warming me up.
I think it's because of the
not the
7%
plan.
alcohol is what I think.
This is what I'm saying. But I don't mind it. I probably again, it's got a little bit of the, and you're probably not going to agree with this, Russ, but there's a little bit of the Bock about it again.
Actually, yes. I can agree to that.
Okay.
That is that kind of slightly sweetened Bock or Festbock flavor. Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of that about it. Yeah. Here, do you like the Festbock or the Maybach by Holston?
The Maybach by Holston. I'm not sure if I've had it.
Oh, listen, please treat yourself. It's always available. It's a standard in the NSLC. Ross, I know, is a big fan. You really like it, don't you, bud? And I got to admit, I like them too.
I like them.
There are two different bocks there, the Maybach and the Festbock, and they're both quite delicious.
It's a more malt, less bitter, strong ale. I don't know if you had. Did you ever have any of the Innocent Gun ones with the rum finish, the oak cask stuff? It was quite. It was kind of similar.
Actually, that's really good.
Oh, that's excellent. They've still got one of the Innocent Guns, but they don't have the old one in there. So, and this is gonna be one of these things where Ian likes
Scotch
it and I don't like it, but Ian will give it a lower score than me because he likes it. So my I don't like it that much. I'm like 8.3. Ian says that's the best one of these I've ever had. 7.5.
That's right.
That is
I'm,
what you do.
I'm not scoring this terrifically heavily, but I quite like it.
Well, it's drinkable.
I don't think I'd want too many of them.
No.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
is drinkable. It's
What do
you're
you-
saying it's
what-
not drinkable.
We're saying the exact. I'm laughing because we're saying the exact same thing, just with different facial expressions. You're
okay.
quite happy
the
that you
bacon
couldn't
out
drink
of
another one of it, and it's kind of sweet, and it's like a strong thing. And I'm sort of, I couldn't drink another one of these. But it's still drinkable, but it's all right. It's passable.
Is the rating out of
Yeah.
10? Is
Usually.
that where you depend?
What if,
All right, I'll give this one I'd give it 7 missing beers out of 10.
That's only a 7 out of 10 for Tim's. Oh, I thought we rated that higher. What does Rebecca think of the all lit up?
All lit up. All lit up. I would give this a 3 burnt out lights out of 10, and 7 lit up lights.
Gosh, she put some thought into that.
That is, whew, I have to devour that.
She was up all night. No wonder you couldn't sleep. She was up all night thinking, I don't think it tastes like a Christmas ale. I know, great way to mark things. I don't think it tastes like a Christmas ale. I just think it tastes like a not Christmas ale. It's perfectly fine. It's not exciting. It's a strong ale, and it's got a kind of weird sweety flavour to it.
Tastes too much like flu season.
I would rather have some box by Halston.
It started out as a fruitcake.
A little bit like them.
It started out as a fruitcake flavor for me, and it turned into cough medicine, and I think that was a bit of a.
I'm going to go right down the middle and give it 2.5 out of 5.
Okay. Barely, just passing. That is an F+. Also known as the D.
Now
minus.
Passing.
Flaming Mo.
Out of 5.
Not 5 out of 10. 2.5 out of 5.
So our next one up, at a whole 7.6% alcohol. It does say strong beer on this one is Old Biddy's, now known as Great Roads, down in Sackville in their new area of expertise. You know what? I'm not even sure I've ever had Robitussin, John, but yeah, Motussin is the Naughty or Nice double chocolate stout. And I remember, long time ago, in my mid-20s, when I first found stouts, and someone, I think, in fact, John was the first one who said, "Here, try this, it's a chocolate stout." And I said, I didn't know this was a thing. So whenever someone says double chocolate stout, I say, yes, I am in. Despite the fact that I have actually had slightly disappointing double chocolate stouts before. And I'm trying to remember if this is one of them. Naughty or Nice double chocolate stout. Says on the can.
We have
Santa's go-to brew for checking it twice. Naughty or Nice pours a deep dark brown with a tan head. A perfect holiday pick-me-up with flavors of dark chocolate, coffee, and a slightly roasted finish. Full-bodied, malty, and a touch of sweet. Our rich stout will help make your season merry. 22 in the old IBUs.
I picked these up from the Old Biddy's stroke the what's it called? Great Roots. I forget what it's called. What's it called now? Great Roads.
Great Roads.
Brewery the other day while we were in the city. Now it was so weird because one, you didn't know that place existed, and I was in it, and you were like, "That's," because I sent you a photograph, and you were thinking that doesn't look anything like the place I was.
No,
and not only that, but it was named differently, and there were different named cans, and the cans had different strengths on them. It was like I was in some Alice in Wonderland of weirdness. But in the end, what I did was I picked up. To explain, of course, they had expanded their premises. They used to be out of this very, very small tap room during COVID. And they've really gone for it in a big way. They've sold, Old Biddy's was sold by Keith, I think his name was, if I remember rightly. And some other chaps took it over.
Is he no longer the brewmaster?
Ago. No, he's not. No, he's completely sold the whole thing, which is why, of course, they've rebranded. They've called themselves now, I think it's please tell me. I think it's called Great Roads. And but what they have done, he sold hook, line, he went for, the whole kit and caboodle. He sold recipes and all to new owners. So therefore, they have not messed with the recipes. They say it's all
it's all the ones that he designed, and so they are all good for now. But I'm honestly, I'm more curious as to what Keith is going to do next.
But following on from that, there were 2 different Old Biddy's Naughty or Nice available. They were in different cans, and I did inquire about this because this one, as you can see on the front, says 7.6%, and there were ones in cans also saying Naughty or Nice, that was 6.5%, like a full percent less.
Were
But
they
they were
double
all
chocolate?
they were double of chocolate. They were, and I inquired, and they said, it's just the way the cans are done. I couldn't quite understand what they were saying. I really didn't understand. Anyway, what I did was bought a growler of it too, and they said, which one do you want then? I said, I'll have the strong one, thanks. So I bought a growler of it and brought it back last week. So I have already drunk a growler of the Naughty or Nice.
Oh,
I am already. I've tried it. Not only tried it, but I've had 4 pints of it from the growler.
That's fair.
And so I know what I like. I did share it with you. I did share it with
Did
you.
it have Santa on it though?
It didn't have Santa on it. But of course, this is going to taste a little bit different from a can because they usually do. Especially as I drank it the next night as well. I finished it the next night or a couple of nights later, and it had lost a lot of its buzz.
Did you say it was flat as a fart?
It was flat as a fart.
Well,
yeah.
I opened my can and it seems like it was pretty much full to the absolute brim. So I'm about to make a huge mess pouring this into this glass. But I guess we're gonna have to catch up to Keith and find out what his next project is. I mean, is he just sort of saying, "Yeah, I'm done brewing," and he's done and he's sold, or is he going to, are they moving house to Ontario and starting up another brew? Anyway, I'm curious as to what he's gonna do next, because if he, as one dude, came up with all of these recipes, the Irish Red, one of my favorites in the province. I think it's the best red ale in the province, and the blueberry wheat that was there before. There was another orange, the Tall Dark and Handsome Porter, delicious, and this one, I think the guy's got the chops to keep making the excellent beers. It would be very exciting if he's going to continue experimenting on new recipes and trying new things. But that's interesting. I did not know.
Look at how dark it is. Here, what have you got to go up against the Naughty or Nice by LP?
I got the Hoppy Boy IPA,
You just went and bought some IPAs, didn't you?
6.5%.
Totally opaque.
Garrison.
Complete.
I remain disappointed with the head on both of these beers now. Look at that. These, I'm getting like giant bubbles and not that foam, that good foam that I'm looking for. But it's fine because it smells.
The foam like that could stuck your mustache.
Very chocolatey.
I wanted to stick to the mustache. I want that experience. I definitely want that to happen. Not today.
I'm always of the opinion that Christmas ales.
I sipped it.
I'm always of the opinion. Maybe I'm just a traditionalist, but a chocolate stout or a double chocolate stout is to me, it does not smack of Christmas time.
Valentine's Day?
It could be any time of year. Valentine's Day, yeah. Easter, fair enough. To me, a Christmas ale or a seasonal, especially one that's got Santa Claus on the front, for goodness sake, it's got to have some spices in it. It's got to have something out of the ordinary. And chocolate stouts and double chocolate stouts, as good as some of them are, don't smack to me of. It's almost like you could throw a chocolate ale in any can and put a Santa Claus on it and say, it's a Christmas ale. But to me, it's not. It's a bit of a cop-out. Does that sound fair? Regardless, irrespective of how good the beer is, to me, a Christmas ale has spices that remind cloves.
That's a pumpkin ale.
That's not necessarily a pumpkin ale because it's got different spices, but they have. But what is a Christmas ale then to you? Because to me, it's not a stout. It's not a double chocolate stout.
Remember that Odin's
Yeah.
ale we had?
Yeah.
And it's from
Yarmouth.
from Yarmouth.
Yeah.
That was called a winter ale.
Yeah.
And that was so good. It was spicy and it was very Christmassy, like winter.
You thought it was Christmassy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But it could also have been a pumpkin ale.
Your thoughts on that, fellas? Double chocolate stouts. Do they smack of Christmas to you?
Well, I mean, of all the Christmas flavors, like, then you're getting into like candy cane flavored beer, and that can't taste good at all, right? So I think they're going with what actually works. Like, They know they can
Mhm.
make a chocolate stout taste good, so they just put a new label on it and say, "Hey, it's a Christmas drink now."
Well,
Because
That's what I'm thinking.
you get the benefit that no one's brave enough to say we've got a double chocolate stout in the height of summer. We'd drink it, but we're crazy. We're crazy
Right.
about this one style of beer. We would say, "Oh, you've got a double chocolate stout and it's July 6th and 34 degrees out. Bring it on. I'll take two." And we do that. But the I don't know, the palate, the general palate, the popular palate isn't quite into that. So they say, "Hey, here's the dark of winter and the winter beer's this." And when you're eating chocolate and it's winter time and there's a fire and a snowstorm, chocolate does lean itself towards Christmas. Like Rebecca says, you could get away with I would drink a Valentine's double chocolate stout just because I would drink a double chocolate stout at all times of the year. So any excuse to have a double chocolate stout, I will say, yes, absolutely. Easter double chocolate stout, bring it on. Halloween double chocolate stout, yes, let's have one for all of the holidays that you most often eat chocolate.
Yeah.
And okay.
here's my question for you: would you drink a ham flavored stout?
Probably once. You're talking to a guy
Not
who
anymore.
has put marshmallows in a pumpkin ale to see what that
Really?
tastes like. Yep. I think we do go to the Christmas tree. The pine flavored one is the weirdest one we've ever had. It's not even an urban legend. There are facts behind this. When Bad Apple Brewhouse was a thing, they were experimenting with interesting stuff. They had a, what was it, cucumber something ale. And I didn't try it, but my friends tried it and they said, "Yep, that's gross." And they tried it. It was accurate. I remember there was a coconut porter at Patty's one time, and it was a dark beer and it tasted like coconut. And I said, "Yes, that's exactly what that tastes like. Never serve that to me again." But novelty, I see what you're saying, where it needs to be a novelty. It needs to be bonkers and stupid. It needs to It needs to be crazy like that. Yeah, the cucumber mint ale of destiny. John's the one who told me that story. It was John and Sean, I think.
Christmas cranberry.
Oh,
Cranberry.
Cranberry is Christmassy.
you can buy cranberry juice all year round. It's in the stores.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
flies off the shelf at Christmas time. It's just at some point someone tells you, like Kier's saying, a ham flavored stout. If you found me a turkey dinner lager, yes, I would drink that. Yes, I would try that. Absolutely. Something that tastes like the breaded stuffing in a turkey. Ooh,
Or yam.
yeah.
Like brown sugar yams.
There's
Mashed potato stout.
I feel like a smooth buttery, like a salty kind of flavor like that. A really buttered. It's not the consistency. It's not the ingredients. It's the texture and the what flavor you get with it. So I can envision a very smooth, salty stout or brown ale that could go like your mashed potatoes. Here you go, mashed potatoes and gravy, brown ale. Bam. Once again, coming down to the fact that we need our own brewery and we need to mess with this stuff and just invent crazy off the wall. We'd be out of business in 4 months, but we need to do it. Anywho,
While you are supping on this double chocolate stout, have a think on what movie Bing Crosby originally sung White Christmas in.
I know the answer to this, and it's Holiday Inn.
Oh, it is Holiday Inn. Well done. Yeah, this is bitter, isn't it? It's a double. It's a dark chocolate. It's so bitter.
Very stouty.
Mm.
Very chocolatey.
Very chocolatey.
Double, like a
You don't
dark
like
chocolate.
you don't like dark chocolate. You like milk chocolate, but this is a really bittery dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Lots of cocoa in it.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I can taste that.
you can taste that.
Mhm.
I prefer milk chocolate to dark chocolate, but I'll give you halfway. I don't think it's like a full on dark chocolate bar, but it's certainly more dark chocolate than milk chocolate. Fair, but it's good.
The bitter.
This is
Mm.
I think yours is.
Mine's died. It's dying.
Mine still got a little bit.
mine died immediately as well.
Have a
Something's
taste
going
of
on with
that.
these
Okay.
cans.
On
Kier, how's the hoppy buoy?
screen.
Wait,
Yours-
question. How do you,
It's, you know,
how do you pronounce it? Say it again. Ian and I fight over this.
Hoppy Boy.
Boy,
Like-
boy.
I'm saying boy. Yeah, like a small boy or something.
Wow. I grew up in as close to a small Nova Scotian fishing village as you can get. I did not fish. I did not work on a fishing vessel. I don't like fish, and I don't like boats or being on the water. So for some reason growing up, maybe my little insular upbringing led me to refer to boys as buoys. Like
You said
buoy.
very
buoy. You said buoy.
buoy. And
Yeah.
is that like specific to a geographical location? Do we call it that because we're from a certain place, or is there more than one pronunciation of a bay? It's a bit like one of those Burke or Trana.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel like boy might be lazy. There's the
And
reason
bye.
that around my kids I say February just in the hopes that they might pronounce words correctly when they grow up and not sound like a bunch of yokel hicks.
So you
like-
pronounce the R in February, the first R, rather than
Yeah,
both. You pronounce both, right? Rebecca was the first person who ever picked me up on the fact that the word,
The number.
the number, well, that's actually I do say 6, but whenever I put the TH on the end, I don't pronounce the X.
And his
So
family doesn't do that. Or
we don't do it either. So we just
No,
say
they
Oh, they
say
do?
it,
Oh.
they say it properly.
the 6th of March, or the 6th of February.
I've
It's a
never
six.
noticed that, but
so-
okay, I'm gonna call you on that from now on.
Nor had I until she picked me up on it, and I thought, hey, I do that, yeah. But so if it's the 6th of February, I'm gonna get some horrible looks from people on the 6th of February.
February.
Yeah, I know.
You say
It was like
This is
Oxford.
also-
it was like
Yes.
last year when I found out it's not pronounced wheelbarrow, it's pronounced wheelbarrow.
Barrow. It's people say double REL, don't they? A lot here. Barrel.
wheelbarrow.
I was saying wheelbarrow.
I've never heard anyone
You're
call
not
it
alone.
that.
You're not
Yeah, I was
alone.
saying wheelbarrow, and then I saw it spelled somewhere. I was like, wait, what? I've been saying it wrong my whole life.
I think we've talked about this before, but in growing up in a kind of rural village in South Shore, Nova Scotia, we're about a half hour outside of Halifax, but my parents were immigrated Scots, so I mean despite accent, they tried to talk and pronounce things correctly, and then I landed and kind of grew up from the age of 4 or 5 in rural Nova Scotia, and I learned that I didn't really like the way everyone talked. I liked to pronounce things, and there's several jokes in my family amongst us where I guess it did get a little, not exactly chip on the shoulder, but definitely looking down our nose at people who didn't pronounce things properly, and one of which was pumpkin. I have a hard time. I try to pronounce pumpkin because you always hear punkin, and it's just missing and getting wrong several consonants in there. You just hear words that happen really fast, like trana. You hear trana, you hear burk really fast, woofle. Just when you move to the valley, you learn that. Trana was a South Shore and just everywhere thing, but it's just the laziness of speech bothered me a little. So I'd always try to pronounce things, and I definitely came across as a bit douchey about it. More than one time in my life, I am sure.
You probably don't listen to a whole lot of Mike Tyson interviews, do you?
A definitive lack of. However, I did watch first 2 seasons of Mike Tyson Mysteries and love them to absolute bits. But I can listen to people.
Mysteries.
Yeah, like Scooby Doo, isn't it?
What?
Like Scooby Doo.
If
It goes out in the van.
It's like a
Com-
parody of Scooby Doo.
it is. Combine Scooby Doo with Rick and Morty, and I think that's what you
Mike
get.
Tyson.
It's
looking for ghosts.
I think so.
it's worth a watch.
I think
It's
it-
absolutely worth a
Yeah.
watch.
It's like a cross between Scooby Doo and Unsolved Mysteries, but with Mike Tyson, the boxer.
And
Yeah.
it's animated.
What?
Animated.
What? So
yeah.
it's
Oh, it gets
he,
weirder.
and they have like a Scooby Doo crowd. One of his friends who embarks on these mysteries is a talking pigeon voiced by Norm Macdonald. And if
That's
that
right.
doesn't sell you, one of the other characters is the ghost of one of the boxing
Macdonald.
officials from the origins of boxing, the Marquis de, what was his name? The Marquis de Sambolaz, some French name for the origins of, because he's just a ghost. He's an
Marquis de
actual apparition floating about, helping them with these mysteries. But the thing is, since Mike Tyson doesn't know what a Marquis is, he just calls him Marcus, and that's just his name. He just
Marquis
call-
de Sade.
yeah, but he calls him Marcus, and I love that. it's the strangest, funniest,
did not know
craziest
that.
show.
And his daughter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, what's her
Does
name?
he have his face tattoos
Oh,
in
yeah.
the cartoon?
Oh, it's all in there.
Yeah.
It's great. And then it also includes usually some interviews with him. Like there's some live action interviews with Mike Tyson, like at the beginning and the end. I have watched an awful lot of interviews with Mike Tyson, if you count the little snippets at the beginning and end of those shows.
Wow.
I think-
It might be flattened heavily. It's lost all right off the bat. It
It's-
lost all its head, and
Mine is fine.
It's a
was
double
good.
chocolate stout. It doesn't need the fizz anymore. You shut up.
yeah, I get that.
I don't need it.
I-
Nope. It did lose its head immediately, and I had no foam. I would have loved a little bit of foam. I would have loved a few legs coming down the side, but nope. This is.
Mine's
I think it's the glass again that I poured it in, because I got them at the same time. I'm sat right next to Rebecca, and hers looks better and tastes better than mine, and yeah, so it's got to be the glass that that it's poured into. I don't know. That's very strange.
lower sack. That's where old Biddy's is.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
Rebecca was with you. Well, lesson learned. Always pour 2 glasses, so you have one that's
them.
good and one that's bad.
Yeah.
And then that way you can always judge them by both.
Yeah.
Give it the average. I like this. I like this a whole lot. It is keeping its flavor. It is it does taste strong. It's got a sweetness. The double or the chocolate is there. It is is it a stout?
I agree with everything you just said. It's smooth. It's got a nice there's no aftertaste.
No.
It's lovely and bitter. I do like it. And as I said, I had a growler of it a few days ago, and I really did enjoy it.
The darker
but-
kind of chocolate than the milk chocolate.
Yes. Very
I totally
bitter
agree.
You've got no choice but to agree. The problem I'm having with it, of course, is I don't think it doesn't smack of a seasonal ale to me whatsoever. So therefore, as a chocolate stout, as a double chocolate stout, it's really tasty, and I'm going to give it a good marks. As a seasonal ale, I find it difficult to even qualify it,
So it
because
loses marks.
it's
I guess that's valid.
Yeah.
It's valid,
Think
'cause
of
it
the
has a
effort.
sniff on.
I think you're undervaluing the effort that goes into can design. Because if they just wanted a year-round or a winter double chocolate stout, you could do that, and those do exist. But these guys said, no, this is definitely the Christmas double chocolate stout. Look, the old guy with the beard has a Santa hat on the can. It's all good to go. So you're narrowing it down to not just being, here's our double chocolate stout.
Here's got right now another IPA called Hoppy Boy. What's to say that that company that didn't just throw that into a can and put a Santa on it and call it our Christmas brew, and it's a hoppy Christmas ale? It's just a
I
bit
mean,
of
it
a
already
cop
has
out.
like some red and green on it.
And that's just it. Keir chose them based on the color scheme. Big Spruce had a tree on it, and you could put a couple of lights. Big Spruce is missing out on this. They could put lights on their cans.
Yeah.
On every
Yeah.
single one of them. Hoppy Boy the same way. Oh,
Yeah.
red and green. There it is. Festive colors.
Now, it's funny that we should be talking about this because, of course, the next can that we're coming to, I had quite a conversation with a guy in the NSLC about this very thing. But I won't stamp all over that yet because we're still doing the we're still doing the old Biddy. But I do want to ask you a trivia question, a Christmas trivia question, Kia. Ross, Rebecca,
Fire away.
what is the name of the seasonal beverage? The seasonal beverage made from hot mulled cider, ale, or wine and spices, drunk traditionally as an integral part of an ancient English Yuletide drinking ritual and salutation. This is long. Either involved in door-to-door charity giving or used to ensure a good harvest the following year. I started that question about 3 hours ago. I bet you can't even remember the beginning of it. It's the name of a seasonal beverage.
Which is the mulled... I've only ever heard it as the mulled cider, but it must be in a song somewhere. I'm going through all of the Christmas carols that I know because you're offered up a...
Ross is going through a Christmas carol list. This is interesting. So it's made from hot mulled cider, ale, or wine and spices, drunk traditionally as an integral part of an ancient English Yuletide drinking ritual.
It's made from malt cider.
Yes, cider or wine or ale or mulled spices and things. You've heard of it, I'm sure you have. It's a verb as well, to go and do this thing, this verb.
At Christmas?
At Christmas time, gives over to the actual ale itself that is drunk, or the beverage itself.
Oh, wassail?
Wassail.
I was going to say, is it a wassail? Okay, that was a good hint. That was definitely a hint that I did not know that was the name of a beverage before now. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting.
I thought wassail was just the verb to go and sing. I didn't know it was the name of the drink as well. So it is a mulled cider mixed
wine
with
with spices and things served traditionally at the Yuletide to go and do your begging. I'm giving this a solid 5 again.
5 out of 5? Or 5 out of 5?
No,
as a holiday
it's
beverage, though.
As a double chocolate ale, I like it. I really do. I like it a lot.
Nice.
So therefore, 8 out of 10. But it's not a Christmas ale to me. It's just a regular double chocolate stout.
I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10 for a Christmas
7 out of 10 for the Hoppy Boy.
It never claimed to be a Christmas drink. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10 for a lemonade. This is the worst lemonade I've ever had. I don't care. I don't care that it was missing because we've already talked about that. It seems almost unimaginative recently, in recent years. But they put a Santa Claus on the can, man. What else do you want? Like here says, do you want a ham and double chocolate and toffee crunch? It's the lint and sprungly chocolate or something like that. Some sort of Laura Secord Christmas. I don't know. They named it enough for you. There's a piece of holly on there. What if something tasted like mistletoe and we learned that mistletoe just tastes like cat urine? Then everyone's got to drink a mistletoe and cat urine chocolate stout. And how's that going to go? I think that's delicious. I think that's amazing. It's the dark chocolate isn't too much. It's a dark chocolate beer, and I don't like dark chocolate, and I still love it. It's not even a 9.0. That's that 9.1. It's got to just eke into the 9s. I think I'll give it some 9s because I don't remember what I think of this one.
I almost made a real faux pas there, and because I finished my double chocolate stout. I finished it all. But Ross, as you know, I always save little bits, and you do too, maybe a couple of fingers of each of them so we can go back and compare them. But thankfully, Rebecca's got a full can herself, so there's plenty to go compare with afterwards.
For things like, for holiday specials, especially if they're all over the place, and you can't really compare the all lit up strong ale, whatever the hell that was, the raisin candy one with a double chocolate stout. They're all over the place. So I'm the only reason I'm saving them is because Brittany said that she wanted to try them all. So I'm going to bring her a couple of fingers of beer up next, because she was most curious about this one, and there's so many stories in this next one. There's so many tales to tell of Propeller's Nanaimo Imperial, that's going to go well, dessert stout, 10% extra strong beer. How much was the Leviathan? Was it 10.2?
That's facts territory.
I know.
That is
Kier,
facts territory.
have you
I'm
surprised?
surprised you didn't just go out and buy a half a dozen facts and say, I'm going to sit down here and drink the facts all evening.
Kier, have you tried Propeller's Leviathan triple IPA?
Yeah, I have. It's actually really good.
It's so
And
good.
But
It
it
is.
packs a punch.
It's outstanding. Why? Okay, well, it's not on their
We
freaking.
discussed this here. Ross and I, as you well know, because we've done these things with you, the IPA nights, we don't do single IPAs at all. They're just like, they're so painful. And yet, and it doesn't make sense. The science behind IPAs is clearly above me, because it doesn't make sense that a double IPA should taste way better than a single IPA. And that a triple IPA, we're like, this is amazing. Where has this been on my... It should be the worst thing ever, and yet it's the absolute opposite. And the Leviathan was off the scale good. And the Two Crows Galaxy, what? No, not Galaxy.
It was
Two
Galaxy
Crows,
something. Yeah, it was.
it's the spacey thing. Cosmic.
Space
whatever.
words. Space words. That was their one.
Space Words, right. Was amazing.
They were
I thought
both
this
really.
should not be. Yeah, I know.
We
Triple IPAs.
we thought we
is the
would
way
be
of-
in acute discomfort drinking triple IPAs, but we were just.
I feel the same way though. I feel the stronger IPAs taste way better than the single IPAs, and it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not much more expensive than the single IPAs, and they get you a buzz a little bit faster.
Oh, they knock you over.
The thing that we kind of learned slowly is the smash beers, the single malt, single hop, seem to be our least favorite. So when something says it's a smash beer or a smash IPA, we say, that's the ones we're not gonna like. So we avoid them.
We're gonna body swerve those.
Turns out,
Yeah.
the Nanaimo here at 10% dessert, strong, extra strong imperial dessert stout. The Leviathan also clocks in at 10%. So what's Fax? Fax is 10, right?
Yeah.
What's the Leviathan? What's it? It's a stout or
No, it's an IPA. It's a
Triple IPA. Now, the Imperial Russian Stout that we had from Bad Apple, it clocked, well, my can mentioned 11%.
yeah.
I
it
think
took
that's
it to 11?
I think that's the high.
These
This
ones
one
go
this one
Don't wait
goes to
till
11.
11.
This one goes to 11.
Like Spinal Tap, huh?
Absolutely. This goes to 11.
It's 11.
On the side of the can from Nanaimo, the Nanaimo from Propeller, reminiscent of the classic Canadian dessert, Nanaimo treats you to flavors of melted milk chocolate, vanilla custard, and toasted coconut. Rich and creamy, this decadent imperial stout finishes with a warming sweetness. Kier, what do you think of many of those words? Chocolate, custard, coconut, and sweet.
I do not think I would like it.
You're happy with your? Are you on IPA number 3 as we speak?
Yeah, I'm on nut brown this time.
Do you know what? Part of me wishes I was drinking a nut brown in between these two.
Rebecca
me a
forgot
palate
to
cleanser.
store
what
the old Biddy's Naughty or Nice. So what's yours called?
Hang on one sec.
Oh, we're going back to the Naughty or Nice. Just briefly.
There's
Briefly.
a large amount of that left.
I give it 4 Mystery Machine tires out of 5.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo references. Plenty. Can you log me on?
Oh, yeah.
You don't think you're going to log the Nanaimo? Do you know what, Kier? Listen, it just so happens because I went out and bought spoiler alert, we've been buying these for like a month, month 6 weeks. We've had a lot of Nanaimos. So there's it's no secret to know that we love this beer. I want to give you a Nanaimo because if they're all gone, you deserve a Nanaimo here. It's not hoppy. It's as sweet as all hell. It's
overly sweet though. Like it's not as sweet like that.
I try.
It's what we're establishing. Have you met Kier's beard? Kier's beard. It will not do a sweet melted chocolate stout. It just won't. I think there may actually be a physical barrier that it will not let it pass into his mouth.
Okay, it's a different sweet.
Tiny hands come out of the beer and grab out of the beer and just toss the drink away.
I think the what's the magic? The magic words here, Kier, are 10% beer, and that's not. If that doesn't do it for you, I don't know what will. It's better than fact.
That does intrigue me, but it's weird that normally like these sweet beers are actually quite low in percentage. I find, but this Nanaimo beer is 10%, which is a big number for beer.
If it helps, it doesn't smell like anything.
It's not overly sweet. Like I wouldn't call it a sweet.
Something called for a Nanaimo bar. I thought it was going to knock me off my chair, but the naughty or nice hits you with the sweet. It says, "I am chocolate and sugary," and here you go. But the Nanaimo, it's got.
I'm same with the Garrison.
So because just finish that off, I'm going to get a Nanaimo to you somehow, Kier, over the holiday period.
Oh yeah.
So because I think you need to try one of these.
We bought them all.
we bought them out. Before we do that. St. Nick is the patron saint of.
Wait, Saint who?
Saint Nick.
Okay, I heard that as Saint Nicholas, but go on.
Saint Nicholas. Well, that's the thing. It's not Santa Claus, but that's the thing. Saint Nicholas, the traditional European saint of Saint Nicholas, he's the patron saint of. He's busy, by the way. Sailors, merchants, archers. Repentant thieves for some reason. It looks like Ross is Googling right now, and I hate that. It looks like he's Googling in his Don Cherry jacket. Looks like he's cheating. He's the patron of children, of course, very famously. Brewers. He's the patron saint of brewers. He's a busy chap. Pawnbrokers, unmarried people, I'm not making this up, and students in various cities and countries. The one patron saint. But on what date do we celebrate him? In December.
Oh, you're even giving us the month?
I'm giving you the month.
10th.
I'm gonna go 22nd.
26th.
Remember this for next 6th of December. 6th. It's the 6th of December.
You just have to get the
no
6th,
one's gonna remember the
6th
of
in
December.
there. I can't say that properly. I can't say your wrong one properly. I can't do it wrongly enough. 6th.
You can't do it wrong enough.
No.
The 6th.
SICTH. 6th.
SIKT.
K. There you go.
Revenge of the 6th.
I appreciate how the head and the foam stick around on my Nanaimo here. I've poured it out, and it's giving me the first amount of frothiness to my beers on the evening, within the 10% beer, despite the fact that the aroma is negligible. It's almost not there. Yeah, I didn't even bother with that either.
Cleanse our palate seriously since the last.
I'm gonna give this a whirl, and then I have a trivia question for you that I remember from when someone asked me this question years and years ago, and I still think it's the best Christmas trivia question ever. So, Nanaimo and also the Garrison Nut Brown. Kind of wish I was drinking that too, but I only have one mouth. Although arguably I have more than one taste bud, so maybe I could drink two things at once. Joe's.
Have 3 beer.
Here, while he's trying that, what's the ABV of the nut brown from Garrison?
The ABV. You're gonna have to tell me what ABV is.
Oh, sorry. The what's the strength?
Oh, the strength. It's 5.0.
Oh, so it's a. I tell you what, it's exactly half. It's a. What a pansy beer you're
You
drinking
don't
there.
need to ABV shame Kier just because we couldn't get him all the good the beers that we were drinking and they blew away in a storm.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said I'll make out.
I can just imagine like one of the neighbors looking out their window and just seeing these 3 cans just rolling down the park.
I was gonna, just because Kier's beers are in Oz right now, it doesn't. It's not a bad mark on his personality or character.
They're currently floating the Bay of Fundy.
It's a windy frickin' day. That's all.
It doesn't smell, does it? It doesn't. It smells slightly chocolatey.
I smell a little vanilla.
Vanilla?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It has more of a vanilla chocolatey flavor than the naughty or nice, for sure. It does not just rely on the dark chocolate. That's got some. I'm glad you said vanilla.
Never got the coconut.
Did you read the back of the can, Ross, while I was waffling away?
Oh, at some point.
Okay.
During some point of the waffle, because I was curious what Kier thought of the words vanilla custard, chocolate, coconut, and sweetness, and he said, "Yeah, don't even don't even let the wind blow that past my house."
Well, we first tried this. I think Ross, if you remember, several months ago, it may even be longer ago than that, I sent a photograph. I found, on Facebook, of course, because for some reason Facebook knows that you search things.
Yep.
It's really scary, and I'm really worried about it. So it knows that I like things that I like, and all of a sudden, Propeller, this thing popped up on my radar, and I immediately screenshot it and sent it to you and said, "Oh fuck! Look, what is this? What is this going to taste like?" And then when it came out, I thought it can't be as good. It can't be as good as it sounds like it's going to be, because we've all fallen foul of things that sound like they're going to be incredible, and then you've had milk and cookies being an obvious example. And you're like, oh, that's a bit disappointing. This did not disappoint in any way, shape, or form. And Rebecca and I have been drinking it for about 6 or 8 weeks. It's so good.
I got one, and I didn't know you had seen it or sent it.
Okay.
And I opened it up, and I brought one and said, "This is so good. You have to try this."
Yeah.
And then ever since then, it's been Gravedigger and
Gravedigger and Nanaima. End this year.
I gotta say, the nut brown is actually quite good. It's got a kind of almost like a hazelnut coffee taste to it.
I'm really glad to hear you like that, because it's
kind of like when I was looking at when it said nut brown, I was like, all right, well, you know how like a lot of beers will say it tastes like this, but you don't quite taste what they're describing. I feel nut brown is just like,
these are the two things it tastes like.
Great. Exactly. Also, it'd be a great nickname.
Nut brown.
No, it wouldn't. That's the
You want
worst.
to be known as nut brown?
No. Whatever you do, do not start this trend. I would rather be known as double chocolate than nut brown any day of the week.
I don't know. I feel like that nickname just rolls right off the tongue.
All right, Kier Nut Brown Pache West. That's just if here is a deep dive. Here is a deep dive. If the Wolfville community ever get their act together and I've been invited, I think, twice to a so-called Kier's birthday roast, I am definitely bringing up your nickname of Nut Brown if that ever happens. I've been disappointed twice with that not really culminating in an action plan.
Yeah, no, I think it was this location that was an issue. Like, but I mean, it's not going to happen. But we are going to try to organize something. It was just
you'll keep aging, so there's no shortage of opportunities.
I think what it was going to happen, but I wasn't working at the time, and then I started working, and then my schedule and other people's schedules got a little bit. So it's just something I gotta.
Oh, that's a shame.
Plan.
60% of my material was based on you being unemployed.
Look at the
It
can.
still worked.
It better. You better be. Okay.
I mean, I did 2 roasts a while ago for the same guy on his birthday, and a lot of the jokes people would make of me were like, "The fuck do you do?" It's like, yeah, we've known Kieran. We see him at Patty's open mic. We see him around town. What does he do for work?
But see, that's okay. That's a joke, but the better joke is knowing. And then using that, like I feel like, oh yeah, I am fully on board. I can't wait for this. Ian is trying to say something about. Are you trying to say something about the can? I forgot to point out the Propeller can. It actually is Nanaimo-ish themed, where chocolate at the top, and then whatever this custard is. Wasn't the custard layer of a Nanaimo greenish, like a I want to say, what's the nut? Pistachio.
No, it's yellow.
I had never heard of Nanaimo. Being a foreigner, when I came over here, the first time I ever heard of Nanaimo was I used to go take my kids in a former life to
Nanaimo,
the Chinese all you can eat restaurants of Kai Wing and Golden Dragon and whatever they were in New Minas, and the buffets, but back before COVID was a thing, and the sweet dessert offerings always have a Nanaimo bar in it, which looks like that, right? It's a bit of chocolate with a biscuit base with the coconut, and then the custard, and the chocolate on top. And I had no idea at the time what that Nanaimo bar, that this thing I was trying, which was so delicious, was named after a town in BC. I had no idea. So it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg kind of thing. The Nanaimo bar, I'm assuming, was named after the city of BC rather than the other way around. However, Propeller have taken this Nanaimo bar and an idea and just, Kier, I'm sorry, I've got to get it to you. It's you say it's not sweet. It really is sweet.
It's a sweet.
It's sweet.
But it's not disgustingly cloying.
No.
It's not. But it's a smell that I can't describe.
I would try it.
Oh God, you really should.
That's our motto on this beer. Yeah, I'll give it a whirl.
Try it.
There's not many that we have not finished.
Do you remember, Ross? I went into the liquor store about 3 or 4 weeks ago again, trying to find more, because Rebecca had said, "Oh, we would try this," and we tried it, and we were both loving it. And so I said, "I'm going to go and get some more." And I went to the liquor store in, I think it was New Minas. It was New Minas, and I said, "Hello, have you got any Nanaimo, please?" And the guy said, "I don't know what that is." And I said, "It's by Propeller, I believe." And he says, "No, don't. No, I'm not. We don't. I don't know. What about John, whatever his name was? Have we got Nanaimo by Propeller?" And he said, "No, I don't recognize that." And I was like, "I got some like yesterday from here. I know you have it. I just can't find it. I can't remember where I got it from." And he says, "I don't recognize it, the name at all." And I says, "I definitely had it. I literally had one can of it, and it was so delicious. I said I get a whole bunch more because it's so good." And then he was walking around the store. He found me because I was searching somewhere else. He found me. He said, "Oh yeah, it's a Christmas ale." And I said, "Is it? Is it really? It's just a stout, isn't it?" And he said, No, it's a seasonal ale. So that's why I don't recognize it. He said, because it's in our seasonal ales. So I went and I found it, of course, a whole bunch of them there. And I says, "Why is this a seasonal ale?" I said, "Why have you got this? It's just a sweet dessert stout." He says, "Well, that's why I couldn't find it. 'Cause it's not in the, because you weren't looking in the right place. I'm like, okay, fair enough. And then, of course, I picked up about a dozen of them again and walked to the, and by the time I'd got to the cash till, he was there. He'd hot-footed it to the cash till to meet me there. And of course, I put them there and he says, yeah, I won't try these yet because it's not Christmas yet, because it's a seasonal ale, and I won't try them until it's Christmas. I thought, wow, man, way to make a point to me. I don't care what time of year it is. This is an amazing beer, and it deserves to be sold and drunk all year round.
But I guess it's just that they sell it seasonally.
They sell it
at
seasonally.
Christmas because it's a dessert and treat beer.
I don't see why they wouldn't know that it was
Yeah,
the
you can get in the Nanaimo
seasonal
bar
section.
any time of year.
You can get thank you. You can get a Nanaimo bar any time of year. Why on earth does it have to be at Christmas time?
Well, then
Nanaimo bar isn't a Christmas treat, but
Here's-
you would find like a tray of squares at Christmas, and on the tray of squares, you're probably going to find a Nanaimo bar on
Okay.
the tray of squares.
Might I hoist you by your own petard, sir?
Oh,
You-
please do.
Pooped on the naughty or nice because it wasn't Christmassy enough. And this here in Nanaimo is the brownest, yellowiest, non-Christmassy themed nothing that you could go to a dessert special event in July, and you could go into your Chinese restaurant and have a Nanaimo bar for dessert, and it will not be Christmas themed. So if you give this high marks as a Christmas beer, I shall call you a charlatan, and I don't know what other words I've got.
It's kind of like the same as Ross's jacket. Like it's not a Christmas jacket, but it can't, if you wear it at Christmas, it could be
I
a
am wearing this
festive.
under duress is what I'm doing here.
May I defend myself? You hoist by your own petard. I love the Shakespearean reference there. I do understand what it means. However, it's actually supporting myself that this is not a Christmas brew any more than a double chocolate is a Christmas brew. They are both just really good stouts, which don't need to be, which are not Christmassy to me. They're just fully delicious.
But-
It was the guy that stuck them in the seasonal area of the liquor store, and I said, why are they seasonal? This has got nothing to do.
Only seasonally at
I
Christmas.
was just
But are
backing
you
myself.
giving this a mark based on the Christmas? Because you gave naughty or nice
No.
lower marks for being potentially,
I-
you could get this any time.
In exactly the same way as I said, the old Biddy's Naughty or Nice is a perfectly lovely double stout, but to me, it's not Christmassy in the slightest. Nanaimo is upping it. It's a 9.5 out of 10 for an ale, but to me, it's not a Christmas ale. It's just a really amazing, gorgeous stout, a dessert stout, which I love. It's almost a 10. It's so delicious. It's fabulous, and I can't wait for kids to try it.
As an imperial dessert stout, but as a holiday Christmas beer, where are we standing?
1 out of 10. one out of 10. Dreadful. It's the most un-Christmassy thing I've ever tasted. I would rather drink Tannenbaum. I would rather drink Pine Sol than this at Christmas time.
4 things.
I'm giving the nut brown 8.5 out of 10.
I love the nut bread. I can't wait to have it on the show. So I'm so glad. I'm gonna record your review of it so that I know, and we'll talk about it when we do brown ales
I'm
later.
doing a whole review. Hey, we got Kier back reviewing the nut brown. It's just everything I've said.
Why not? We can squeeze in 6 beers. We can talk about 6 beers at once. 4 things about the Nanaimo. 1 was that it's not a Christmas beer. 2, one time when I was a kid and I tried making Nanaimo bars, I got a recipe for Nanaimo bars, and I didn't realize that you had to make each thing as a layer, so I mixed all the ingredients together and got really confused why I was adding sugar 3 times, and it turned into this big brownie mess, but it was actually kind of flavorful. 3, I did look up the origin of it, and it was named for Nanaimo, BC. So chicken or egg, the egg was Nanaimo, BC. Nanaimo, BC was named as such because the settlers got there and they found, I am going to pronounce this incorrectly, the Snunaime or the Snunaime indigenous people. That is their tribe. Tribe is the wrong word, but that is the First Nation of Snunaime, and it was anglicized, that is destroyed, and turned into Nanaimo, and that's why Nanaimo, BC is named that, because of the people that they found. And for some reason, which I haven't researched into any further than that, Nanaimo bars were like, hey, yeah, let's just make these, because they were made in Nanaimo, BC, and it just became a Nanaimo bar. All of that because people said, oh, we don't understand how to pronounce your name, frickin' Nanaimo. There you go.
And nobody outside of Canada knows
It's
what
like
a Nanaimo.
Nanaimo's not exactly the easiest word to pronounce either.
It's
Nanaimo.
I will send you this Wikipedia article and you try to figure out how to pronounce SN character I've never seen, apostrophe NEIM upside down EX. That's a
Are you not just reading someone's password?
It kind of feels that way.
Hey, in Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, Ross, what is the name of the young Ebenezer Scrooge's jovial, altruistic, and compassionate employee?
Oh, everybody knows.
come
that.
on.
Everybody knows that.
Come on. I even know the name of his love interest when he was going to Mr. Fezziwig's frolic at the when he worked for him as a young man.
I'm just picturing Kermit the Frog right now.
Like a mommy.
It's
Because
Fezziwig. I do have a question, in fact. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Yes, it absolutely is. Because the soundtrack is Christmas songs like
Let It Snow. What is the? It was December 24th, and
I think that's Run DMC.
it probably
or
was
is that
Run
LL?
DMC because that was the only rap music they allowed in the 80s.
And I mean, also Christmas references like "Now I Have a Machine Gun," "Ho ho
I
ho."
want to see a man chilling with with his dog in the park. That is dog.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God! An ill
definitely.
reindeer. Bam, 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 bam.
Rebecca remains the only person in Christendom who has never seen Die Hard.
And where?
Christendom.
dear. I forced Brittany to watch Gremlins a few years ago
Yeah.
Yeah.
because, and I claimed it was a Christmas movie. I said we only have to watch it the once, and we did. But we're gonna YouTube the scene, which I call the scene where the character, the minor main character, she describes her Christmas memories of why she hates Christmas. And she describes her father in the chimney pretending to be Santa Claus. That just has to happen. The rest of the movie don't need. We just need that one scene now.
And in the sequel, she talks about another Christmas memory of to why she hates Christmas. It's just more.
I've watched Gremlins 2 so many times. What are you talking about?
Isn't there a scene in the second one where she like describes another traumatic event that happens during Christmas that makes her hate Christmas? By the way, I'm holding Gremlins.
Yeah.
Because it was going to bring me to my trivia question for you guys.
Rob Truscott is in the comments asking, and I'm not sure, sorry, Rob, if I didn't notice your comment. Based on previous comments, is Nanaimo Christmassy? And I'm trying to call Ian out on this. And he's saying it's a great beer, but for a Christmas beer, no. It's not enough. And we've been arguing about the novelty of a Christmas beer where, and that one that we always keep coming back to, the one that tastes like balsam fir of Lunenburg County, the famous Christmas trees, and we send one to Boston every year since, what, the 70s? 40s, 60s or 70s. I forget when. The thematic novelty of it wins. And nothing else can come close.
I think that this could be qualified as a Christmas beer because of the square tray. Tray of
That's what
squares.
I'm talking about.
Well,
Like
The tray of
it's-
squares factor itself
it's a
makes
silver
it.
tray, isn't it? It's a
It can
silver
be
tray.
or a
isn't it?
Christmas tree shaped tray,
no,
or it
it's not. It's
be
that
Santa Claus
that
tray.
ugly, that nasty plastic square.
Yeah.
And there's like the really bad print of a snowman, but it's got 3 eyes on it. Something's just a little bit wrong. Dollar store plastic tray with something has gone wrong with a bunch of Nanaimo
got
bars on it.
cherry
Yeah.
squares. It's got some Nanaimo bars. It's got a few different other kind of squares on it.
Why?
But that same tray can be at a bridal shower or
Yeah,
a wedding, or
Yeah.
there'll be
Right.
Nanaimo bars.
it could be at a wedding quite easily, because this is a dessert beer to me.
Mhm.
Even though it's in
Yeah.
it's in a tall boy. This is a 500 ml can. It's not a small thing. But to me, it's not Christmassy in the slightest. It's a dessert ale, a delicious dessert ale, but not, to me personally, not Christmas.
Okay, I agree, and I can agree to that. Rob's in the chat. He's saying he will follow up with why the seasonal beers about in the NSLC. So I'm so curious about this now because
Me
again
too.
we found 3 and we drank 2 of them, and the third one, Breton's Milk and Cookies, and again it's a return. So of the 3 that the 3 ones that you could get in the LC, 3 of them were around a couple of years ago or last year. So it's not quite the.
Can I just throw this in right here? I know I talk way too much, but there are 2 big seasonal beer seasons of the year, are there not?
Oh,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
lawn
In fact,
mowing.
there's 3 because no, I guess there's 3 because Christmas being 1,
Yeah.
Pumpkin spice ales being 2,
It's really
Lawn
growing.
and summer ales.
Yeah.
Right, so there we go. So you can throw winter ales in with festive ales if you like, but there are 3 big. They talk about summer ales, the lighter, paler, easier to drink things, and there is and there is of course Halloween, and we know what Halloween means. They're going to throw pumpkin and spice at ales. So therefore,
It goes
what you
so well.
expect to get from a Halloween, and they all do it, is a variation on a pumpkin spice theme. And by the way, Gravedigger floored everyone this year.
Yeah,
Gravedigger. Oh my god!
But they
However,
weren't from
and
Nova
they're-
Scotia.
There's
I
also
know
the
it-
Christmas feature.
That's the big problem I have. It really beats the Nova Scotian ones. But the Christmas ale should be distinctive from the rest of the year. And if you just put a double chocolate stout on a table or a chocolatey stout on the table and say, this is a Christmas fare, it's a cop-out. It's because you could do double stouts at any time of the year and make them sweet and delicious.
But they
But
don't.
Christmas ales need to be different.
but they don't. And I feel like we have a full year of no double chocolate stouts. And then finally someone says, oh, crap. All right. Well, yeah, I guess we have chocolate. We should probably put our sweet double chocolate things over. Yeah, Christmas. So we'll make it appropriate for blah, blah, blah. And they headed towards that because what if, and here is a deep dive. What if the Roman Catholic Church had never embraced Christianity, had never embraced Jesus' birthday, had never stolen the holiday from the pagans of Saturnalia and decided that December 25th was suddenly Jesus' birthday and decided that we need this big old Christian holiday here? What if that had never happened? Would we get double chocolate stouts at any other point in the year? Would we get one in February? Would we get a thematic, hey, it's Valentine's Day. Go on out and get your Valentine's Day double chocolate stout from old Biddy's. Would we get it?
I have no answer.
I think it would have made the rounds. I think it would have still been invented. Just maybe since there's no Christmas, it wouldn't have been out for Christmas. It would have been like for Valentine's Day or just something chocolate.
I'd like to hope that if we were still 2,000-year-old pagan celebrations, we would still be eating chocolate at Saturnalia. That'd be nice.
At Easter, we would be.
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay, wait. If I'm canceling Christmas for Jesus' birthday, I don't think we'd be celebrating Easter. But that's a completely different argument. I've yet to ask you my favorite Christmas themed trivia question. It is this: what is the name of the horse in the song Jingle Bells?
Oh.
Is this a joke?
No. It's a trivia question. It's in the song.
Baxter.
What?
Baxter.
No, Baxter Stockman was from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you know that.
I didn't say
That-
Baxter.
Dashing through the snow
Yep.
on a one-horse open sleigh.
Yeah.
Over the hills we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits sing. Oh, what fun! I've no idea. It
Go
doesn't
two
even
lines back. 2 lines back. Go back.
Bobtail.
mention-
Kier. Kier's got it.
He's got it.
Bells
it?
on bobtail ring.
Bobtail.
Bobtail is the name of the horse in the song Jingle Bells that you have heard for 100% of the years of your life on this earth, but never quite conceptualized.
Bells on bobtail. I just assumed that was the name of the. Sorry, not the name, but the tail of the horses.
Yep.
On bobtails.
Bobtail.
All right. I got a trivia question for you guys.
Oh, crap.
What year did Gremlins come out?
I'm going to go with
1980
87.
84.
What was your guess?
I was 87.
And Ian,
84.
the correct answer is 1984.
I
Well
was
done.
16.
Well done.
I went to the cinema to watch Gremlins. However, it was full, so I had to go and watch a repeat showing of Ghostbusters
Wow.
because the Gremlins cinema was full at the time.
It's not the
I know
worst
that Gremlins is seen as a Christmas movie, but it was released, I don't know, September, October time, whatever it was, in the UK. And Ghostbusters had been running for about 1,000 years. But because Gremlins was full up, we had to go and watch something else instead. And then I watched Gremlins about a week later as a 16-year-old kid. I got one last question for you as well.
Oh, all right.
In Band-Aids, Do They Know It's Christmas? Who sings the iconic line, well, tonight, thank God it's them instead of you?
I think I know.
Here,
I
you're
can-
the only one without your hand up. Therefore, the question goes to you.
I can solve the puzzle.
It's so. What's the song called again? Not sure.
Do they know it's Christmas time at all?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm familiar, and that's one that they have like guest singers on.
Yes, they did.
I don't know, so I'm just gonna guess Bon Jovi.
You were
Oh,
correct on the
so-
first 3 letters.
First 3 questions. You got the first 3 letters right.
Name another singer that
Right,
begins.
Bono.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
we got him there.
I was wrong. I was gonna guess Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, wow.
What?
Bruce Springsteen.
What? How have you?
The American one?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry. I love Nanaimo. I'm
I
going
know.
to take it to bed with me this evening.
We're gonna move to Nanaimo.
We are going to Nanaimo.
Okay,
That's it.
but you gotta just
That is-
pronounce
that's
it
an
correctly
argument.
for the First Nation. It's there's an S at the beginning, and I wish I knew how to pronounce this. Snunime.
It's the best. We were
Nanaimo.
Snanaimo.
Nanaimo. We were trying to figure out what was our top 3 beers of the year.
Yeah, you guys should do a beer of the year
Uh,
at the end of the year. Beer of the year with your pie chart.
What did we?
it's not my pie chart. It's pie charts.
Crap.
Yeah.
What did we drink
Yeah.
this year?
I don't need pie charts.
That's fine.
I have pie.
That's
For
kinda
sure, I
funny.
got a lot of
Honestly, the Leviathan Triple IPA was this year. It's probably got to be up there
When did
as
you
quite the find.
Ross,
Yes.
Bar Dog.
Bar
The
Dog.
Bar Dog.
Yep. As well as the Big
Yeah.
Papa oatmeal stout that we just had.
Oh, interesting.
See what you're missing, Kier? You're missing all this in favor of IPAs. Oh my god.
You could be in on all of these delicious ones. Also,
I
we
would
had
have-
our
And up number 1 too, because it was really good. Actually, I had it a couple times, but not often. But it is a really good IPA.
Which one?
The Leviathan.
Oh, the Leviathan. Yeah. I've never even heard of that.
It's
I've never
incredible.
heard of
You know what the only thing missing from this evening? In the end?
Tears for Fears.
Ananda.
Yeah, he did message me, and he said he couldn't find any of the 3 beers, so he won't join. And I said, don't worry about it. Neither could Kier. Come on in for the conversation. And I think he still dipped and wasn't. Yeah, he turned in early. It's just that kind of night.
I
And that's
think-
cool. We'll get Ananda in here again because I always appreciate his thoughts and his words on things. And Kier will definitely get you in for something that we can get you the beers to try. That's definitely gonna be something.
Did his beers blow away too?
Still cannot confirm nor deny that. he refuses to let me know.
I'm going back to the
God.
before we leave, the Garrison what was that called again?
Light it up.
The all lit up.
Whatever you do,
Which
don't mix them
actually-
together.
No, but no. Weirdly, the all lit up was the one that
So sweet.
it's actually weirdly it's almost the most seasonal ale of the 3
It might
for
be.
me.
It has the Christmas spices to it. It's the only one that really
Yes.
kind of hit the mark. I agree. I think you hit it.
Again, I
Yeah.
also totally agree.
The very flat old Biddy's
Yeah, flat.
is a really good double chocolate.
It
The
was good.
Nanaimo is one of the best beers of the year.
Just-
Mhm.
And he threw them down
Merry Christmas. I'm taking my Brazil nut with me. Good night.
every week. Takes his Brazil nut and goes home. I want to thank Ian, Rebecca, and Kier for being with us, despite the fact that we couldn't quite get the
having me
beers
on.
there for Kier. But we're here every week still. Hopefully here next Tuesday, 8 p.m. live on the old YouTube channel, youtube.com/@drinknsdry. You can check out our Facebook profile at drinknsdry, or you can check out our website at unsupervised.drinknsdry.beer. You can find our podcasts at all the podcasty locations. And yeah, thanks for listening, and we will hopefully see you again